On Outback Truckers, Kurt Shepherd loses his way.
We're stuffed. I need a couple of police cars here to get out of where I am.
Hauling a hut across Australia. Johnny Dowd drags a stack of steel.
Rated 3 straps already.
And a dust cloud.
Can't help wondering what's going on back there.
Up a horror desert track.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
And for 20-year-old trucker Michael Grantham, it's a wild ride.
Rearing up's the worst thing you want.
With a whole lot of horsepower. At a yard in Western Sydney, a massive side hut cut into 12 pieces is being loaded onto waiting trucks. At 3 metres by 5 metres by 12 metres, each piece is big and awkward. But for oversized specialist Kurt Shepherd, it's not the size that matters.
Well, the roads from here to Western Australia are just atrocious in a lot of places. And being on an extendable, the flex is a lot more, so it means it actually bounces more, the whole rig.
Just 3 weeks ago, Kurt went out on his own, buying his truck and trailer. Now, he's looking to build a name as a solid operator.
It's really hard to get a good reputation. You get a bad reputation overnight. And yeah, if you're a shoddy operator, it will come out, you know.
In his life before trucking, Kurt traded on a different sort of rep.
I used to do things that weren't good. Being a debt collector, security at strippers and at brothels. Yeah, I know, I was a bad boy. Rough as guts.
But with his daughter growing up fast, he decided to keep on the straight and narrow.
I promised her I would try and behave myself and become a respectable citizen. So I pulled my head right in, knuckled down, and I started doing oversized. I'm just me. I'm comfortable the way I am. I've got tats up my arm, I've got goatee, shaved my head. I'm no roadkill, but I'm no Mel Gibson.
From Sydney, Kurt will take one section of hut across the entire continent to Perth, over 4,000 kilometres away. But first, it needs to get off the ground.
Interesting.
Once it's on Kurt's truck, it's his responsibility. Until then, all he can do is watch.
Whoa. Straight in the fork. Look at that.
Kurt's worried it's a bad omen for the road ahead.
Get problems from the start. Everything goes to shit constantly. And this hasn't turned out to be the best start of the trip. We haven't even been loaded.
He needs to get on the road fast. There are tight curfew laws for oversized trucks.
I was notified and told, get here Friday morning, we'll load you. Because Sydney has a curfew. 4 o'clock, no oversized loads allowed to run. Can't move at night.
With the building still where it started, it's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be a dash to get out as quick as we can. And I just don't want it falling apart on me.
More exercise.
From his base in Karratha, another owner-driver, Johnny Dowd, is going to great pains to hook up his road train right.
Make sure the handle doesn't snap back shut.
53-year-old Johnny has driven big rigs for 30 years in the remote northwest. It's cruel country to be a trucker.
You wouldn't want to get stuck out there. I normally prepare myself with plenty of tucker and plenty of water, and if that doesn't work, you just get under a tree and squat down and howl.
On this job, Johnny's hauling house frames.
I think one's a 5-bedroom, one's a 3-bedroom, bit of structural steel.
Stacks of uneven steel makes for difficult freight. It slides easily, working loose on the smoothest of roads.
You pull up and you'll see things have moved. Get out, give it another snog up. You just got to keep an eye on it all the time.
A tall order where Johnny's going. He's heading into the Tanami Desert in the peak of the dry season. It's Australia's most northern desert, The Tanami spans 184,000 square kilometres of starving wilderness. Slicing through it is one of the most unique,
It's got a little bit of everything.
dangerous
Bit stony, lots of corrugations.
and unpredictable stretches of dirt. The Tanami Track.
But I enjoy it. Nothing like a challenge.
From Karratha, Johnny will drive 1,700 hard kilometres to Balgo in the Tanami Desert. The last 350 kilometres are up the infamous Tanami Track, taking him past the equally infamous Wolf Creek Crater.
I made a movie there. There was a nasty bastard out there called Mick Taylor. I'll see if he's still there. Mick Taylor! We're going to put walls on first, which will be these big square bits.
But Johnny's first challenge is loading.
Go in this end a bit.
9 tonnes of uneven steel is an awkward jigsaw puzzle.
What we try and do is get all the flat steel on the floor of the trailer, try and make a platform so all the heavy stuff's on the bottom. That end's got to go in a bit.
The hardest fit are the A-frames.
You can't really sit them on anything because you'll end up rubbing a hole through something else. Hard side shift.
He thinks he's got it.
That'll do.
Now to try and hold it in place.
Probably here trying shit on for a while anyway.
It's a big job, calling for 300 metres of straps.
Just try everything on with rope once. Yeah, these are one of the best inventions ever. They look like they're glued on really good, don't they? But they'll try to escape. That's it.
With the job done, there's only one place Johnny's going now.
Wake me up when we get there.
For tomorrow's road, he'll need all the rest he can get.
You want to grab those buckets out of that.
20-year-old Michael Grantham is preparing for one of the most important runs of his short trucking career.
Loading all the feed up and get ready for our trip tomorrow.
A long haul through the Western Australian Outback with 6 tonnes of valuable and volatile freight.
If a horse is going stupid out the back, you would look at me and go, what the hell was that?
Powerful, unpredictable. Racehorses are bred and fed for explosive energy. Not for standing in a truck for days on end.
Going crazy on.
As the son of the owner of Grantham's Horse Transport, Michael Grantham's been around horses all his life. But he's only driven the big rigs for 1 year.
It is a big weight on your shoulders with the money that's travelling behind you. Horses that are worth $1 million, you know, plus. And you got to remember that. Beautiful. Thank you.
Now he's been given the job of moving a dozen horses over 1,000 kilometres. For the 20-year-old, it's the first time he's driven so many horses so far by himself.
My mission is to get them there as good as they got on. They're very valuable and that could go down the drain very quickly.
From Broome, Michael will drive south to Carnarvon, picking up and delivering horses along the way. It's a 1,500 kilometre test of endurance over hot and hostile country. If that wasn't enough to worry about, on this trip, Michael has racing royalty on board. The champion gelding Desert Glow. Winnings to date, $172,000. 1 week ago, he won the Broome Cup, bagging another 64 grand.
Desert Glow beat Deverish and Taylor.
Now his trainer, Rob Galberti, or Gully, is preparing for his next win at the Carnarvon Cup.
We ran third last year and we're a little bit unlucky, so I figured we need to go back because we had unfinished business.
He's entrusting Michael with his in-form champion, as well as 6 other contenders.
It is a bit nervous taking the big smoke down and Desert Glow. Obviously the horse pretty much of the season that, you know, come up and raced and won the cup.
Up you come.
the loading needs to go quickly. This is when the horses are most likely to get agitated. Making them comfortable is vital.
It is a long time to be in an enclosed area, so yeah, you got to keep their fluids up and keep feeding them.
The slightest stress or injury could spell disaster on the racetrack, costing tens of thousands in lost prize money. But with a 9-hour drive still to go and the weather heating up, Michael needs to get a move on. In Western Sydney, after a lot of trial and error,
Yeah, so you're going to swing it round there?
Kurt Shepherd's load is off the ground. All that's left are the tarpaulins. These will protect the fragile interior from damaging weather. But as the tarps go on, Kurt doesn't like what he sees.
That is going to be an issue. See, if this was up on the top deck, it'd be protected by the cab, but it'll all just blow out. Air will get in. As soon as we start, we'll see.
Time to go.
You want a drink?
Riding shotgun, best mate Kane.
Doing this job, you don't have many mates, so he's a companion. Come on. Go in. Kane, come here. Kane. Jesus. Good boy, you stay there.
On the road, and Kurt's first task is to navigate Australia's biggest city.
Whoa. Bit close on that bridge.
Kurt's driven in Sydney only a handful of times. He's depending on his GPS to get him through.
Take slip road on left to Western Motorway.
Oh, no.
But she's having an off day.
No, should have gone under there. This should put us another way.
Turn right on Parramatta Road.
Ah, awesome.
He's been directed onto Parramatta Road, one of Sydney's busiest streets.
Drive 13 kilometres on Parramatta Road.
Come on.
With his oversized curfew, Kurt's got 2 hours to get out of the city.
Parramatta Road, we should be right. And I'm relying on an instrument that can put you into a creek.
Then, in the distance,
Oh. Shit. Tram lines. Oh, we're stuffed. We can't go.
Kurt's almost driven into high voltage wires.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere. We're 5 metres. Yeah, we'll just tear them out.
Touch them, and he could send 1,500 volts of electricity through his truck.
Shit.
He's too high to go forward and too long to turn back.
I've just stuffed right up, big time.
In Karratha, it's departure day for Johnny Dow and his double road train of housing steel. This part of Australia is a mining hub with some very big trucks on the road. The only way of knowing if one's around the corner is over the radio.
Bound to at 8 metres, mate.
No worries, mate. I'll pull up and make some room.
Yeah.
They'll have anything between 50 and 100 tonnes sitting on the truck, so you let them have everything. Yeah, you don't really want to run into one of those.
Back on the road, and Johnny gets another urgent message.
Flapping around here, the last of your tyres.
I've got one strap coming loose by the sound of it. It's flapping around like that. If it's long enough and it gets in the wheel, then the wheel grabs hold of it. It'll probably rip the strap off. Well, this one here looks a bit loose. That doesn't look right, does it?
Johnny's only 2 hours into his run.
That's broken. Snap clean off.
On smooth bitumen, he's already breaking straps.
Bit short now.
It's not looking good for the rough dirt ahead. Young trucker Michael Grantham has started his 1,500-kilometre haul from Broome to Carnarvon.
Yeah, it's good to be on the road. Go that way.
But the first leg of any trip is a nervous time for horse and driver. As the animals settle in, Michael's on alert for any banging or shaking.
They're getting a bit erratic and they can actually jump up into the feed bin and they'll hit their head on the roof and that. You can definitely hear that and it throws the truck around. They're sort of really relying on you to get them around as safe as possible as well.
3 hours in, and it's time to pull over. On the most urgent business.
The whistle is just a bit of a relief for them, you know.
Horses won't urinate in a moving vehicle, but most racehorses are trained to pee on command, usually with a whistle.
Most of them know that that's their time to have a wee, and you know, when a horse wins a race, they go into the swab box and they whistle to get a sample off them. Yeah.
As a grazing animal, horses need to be fed constantly to stay relaxed.
They're pretty hungry, which is good. It's always good that when they're always keen to get their food.
Michael's got his eye on a twitchy rodeo pony.
Like, she hasn't been on the float for a while and she hasn't got no rub mark or anything, so she's standing up well.
Next stop, Port Hedland, in the baking Pilbara region of Australia. Michael has 2 more horses to collect. Outside, the temperature is hitting 35 degrees.
Obviously on a warmish day, you know, there's no airflow through there, and that's when the horses start to get a little bit shitty, so quicker the better, and we can get on the move for them.
But on arrival, the new horses are nowhere to be seen. It's now midday and the truck is in full sun.
It's only a matter of time before it starts to get hot without the airflow. Hopefully they have a good drink. That's the main thing.
Inside, the horses are getting restless. Michael can't afford to hang around.
God, this trip's going to be a nightmare. It really is. I've just stuffed up big time.
On the busy streets of Sydney, Kurt Shepherd is in a serious jam. A wrong turn has brought him within metres of high-voltage power lines, too low for his oversized load. Behind him, it's gridlock, and with no way of controlling traffic, he can't back up.
Yes, mate, I need some real help. I need a couple of police cars here to actually help me get out of where I am. Apparently, they're getting a local car to come out. They'll have to shut the road down behind, which is going to cause me all the grief unimaginable.
But with one lane blocked, the grief has already started.
Everybody gets impatient.
After an agonising 30 minutes, the cavalry arrives.
Thank you. He said to me, how good are you reversing back? I said, yeah, I'm all right.
He'll need to be better than all right. Kurt has to back up 300 metres.
They're going to push them all over onto this lane and I'm going to reverse straight back. Yeah, we're rolling.
There's no margin for error. On one side, passing cars. On the other, street lights and signs.
Let's go to that pole. Whoops. Oh, that's better.
Towards the Interstate Western Highway.
Shut up, stupid.
Hundreds of annoyed drivers are watching his every move. He can't go any further back.
You're gonna have to do a U-ing.
He needs to turn his truck inside the intersection.
Look at this idiot, he won't move.
He's got millimetres to spare.
We've cleared it. God, I feel like a bit like a dickhead now.
He's moving again, and just in time.
All right, here we go.
His curfew expires in 45 minutes. The patrol van guides Kurt onto the open highway.
They're going to get me over into the right-hand fast lane. Beautiful. I'm happy now. I'm a happy little chappy.
But then,
oh, God. Unfortunately, we just got to wait for the vehicle inspectors, a response from them. I'm going to have to go soon because I'm going to be in the curfew. I've got to get out, mate. I've got to get past it. It's only just give us 5-10 minutes.
it's not the news Kurt wanted to hear.
Because I've stuffed up, the vehicle inspection mob might want to come out.
He's got 30 minutes to get out of the oversized curfew zone, which is still 40 kilometres away. He needs the inspectors here now. In Port Hedland, Michael Grantham's new passengers have arrived.
All right, thank you. See ya.
Now he can get some air moving through the hot truck.
Once you stop for a little bit, you know, that airflow stops and it does get a bit hot and stuffy in there for him.
Keeping the horses comfortable is a constant challenge in outback horse trucking. Michael's father built a business from doing it right. Now he's relying on his 20-year-old son to keep it going.
The responsibility that he does give me is, you know, is a very good privilege. He has got a lot of trust in me, I think, you know, to let me go off and do this by myself.
Another 200 kilometres and Michael arrives at his stopover for the night.
It's good that we're here now and hopefully we get all these horses off and there's no other dramas whatsoever. So.
Close behind is Desert Glow's trainer, anxious to check on his champion racehorse. It's important to get Desert Glow and the others off quickly.
Once you start getting a few of them off, you've got to get them all off, because once something starts happening, they all hear each other and you know, start to get a little bit reckless.
The last to come off is the timid rodeo pony.
Sure. She hasn't done very many float travels, so you know, that's probably why she's walking on top of me a bit.
With the pony safely stabled, the horses can now relax.
They're all very bright, as you can see, so that's what we want.
Okay, young fella.
Gully seems pretty happy with all his horses, so that's a bonus. Got to keep the boss happy.
The next morning, before sunrise, Michael is back into it.
They all ate very well yesterday. Went around and had a look at all their night feeds and they're all licked out, so that's a very good sign that they're all travelled well and ready for today.
His next stop is nearly 700 kilometres away. All that's left is to load. First, it's the rodeo pony. But now it's taken a violent dislike to the truck. Johnny Dowell is only 2 hours into his long haul to deliver house frames to a remote community. But already things are coming undone.
It's broken. Snapped clean off.
Straps are the only thing keeping the load on Johnny's truck. Lose too many and a 5-bedroom house could slide off his trailer. All he can do is replace it and pray he doesn't break anymore.
This is on the lovely part of the road. How are we going to go when we get out there?
With time lost fixing his load, Johnny's deadline is entering his thoughts.
I've got to be in Belgo by 12 o'clock tomorrow because they've booked the machine to unload us.
He needs to get a push on. But not everyone appreciates his urgency.
They come out and scare the shitters out of everybody using the road. And there's no shortage of them. One way or the other, this car better get out of my way. I don't know everyone will be saying, oh, this truck up this bloke's ass. Northbound road train approaching the mini bridge. Load still hanging in.
After a lot of hard driving, he's made it to the start of the dirt.
This is a Tanami. Let a bit of air out of the tyres. Have a look at everything to make sure it's on good. Take a deep breath and go for it.
Johnny has now covered more than 80% of his drive, but the short stretch ahead has him the most worried.
This 350 will take longer than that 850 probably.
Letting down his tyres will soften the impact from the violent bumps ahead.
It takes all the jar out of everything.
One final check, and he's committed. The Tanami comes out swinging. Johnny knows his load is getting battered.
It's continuous wriggling.
But with all the dust, he can only imagine the damage.
I can't see properly.
In Roban, Michael Grantham is losing a battle of tug-of-war. With an important customer watching on and the day ticking away, Michael needs to take control. Time for some horse sense with attitude. She's on. But it's not the start to the day he wanted.
Rearing up's the worst thing you want to do. Obviously, she nearly fell over and, and it puts you in a crap mood because they're not doing what they're asked. That horse just needed someone to stand over it a little bit where, it wasn't as if it was scared or anything. It was just being a pain in the bum. They do really test you and it does make your blood boil a little bit, but you just got to be the better person.
Next stop, Carnarvon, 700 kilometres away. The horses have now been on the road for over 24 hours. Any bad travellers are more likely to show themselves the longer the journey goes on.
This is their final leg and we want them getting off the truck as good as they got off.
A few hours in, and it's time for a comfort stop.
Just give them some water and hopefully they have a good drink.
By Carnarvon, it's been a long 9-hour drive. Everyone is keen to move into the new lodgings and stretch their legs.
This is a pigsty.
But the pens are overgrown with an unknown weed.
Can you eat that? If they get crook, hey?
I'm not putting mine on you.
With 1,000 different types of poisonous plants in Australia, there's reason to be worried.
He wouldn't let us go in here if this stuff was bad for him, but it just turns if you want to take the risk.
I wonder what the weed is, eh?
12 hot and tired horses are waiting. They need to make a decision fast. And the right one. At the northern end of the Tanami track, Johnny Dowell has a serious visibility problem. His 42 wheels are whipping up a massive dust cloud. With no wind to blow it away, it's hiding half of his road train. Corrugations are hammering his load. He can't see if it's holding together.
I'll get out and have a look. I reckon there'll be more movement in the camp line now. Yeah, see, this is starting to try and escape already. Look at that. That one's broken, is it? Loose one.
It's a depressing sight, especially so early on the dirt.
I've probably only done 20 Ks out of 350.
Johnny's only brought 20 spare straps with him.
Two broken. At this rate, after 20 Ks, I don't know if I'm going to have 100.
Further back, the news doesn't get any better.
See that? Working its way back out, where it'll rub that strap and that one there will probably eventually rub through and snap.
The day is wasting away.
This might be one of those jobs where you wish you were getting paid by the hour. It's not looking good up here. It's going to be a problem.
With over 300 kilometres still to run, Johnny's delivery deadline of midday tomorrow is looking shaky. Kurt Shepherd's having a very bad day. After bringing a busy Sydney street to a standstill, he's now only 20 minutes away from missing his oversized curfew.
I'm going to have to go soon because I'm going to be in the curfew. I've got to get out, mate.
He needs to get out of the city or be grounded overnight. But he has to wait for vehicle inspectors who are running late.
If I can go now, I'll get there. Yep.
But now Kurt might have caught a break.
No, it's all right, mate. No, you're right. We'll get you out.
The inspectors can't make it.
We're going to go back there and then take out lane 1 so you can get out.
Beautiful, thank you.
He's off the hook.
If we can go now, we would make the cut-off point.
Kurt's got 40 kilometres to cover in barely 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not stopping, mate. It's 4 o'clock. That's the curfew cut-off point.
He does it. Just.
It's been a bit of a day.
The next roadhouse, and he parks up.
Come on. Good boy. What a f***ing day. Come on.
A new day brings a brighter outlook for Kurt.
Yeah, I had a good sleep, so I reckon it's going to be a good day. So now I'm hoping that, you know, we're just going to have a smooth run on the freeway and, yeah, no incidents.
As the kilometres start mounting up, his mind turns to the biggest move he's made in trucking.
Well, I've been out on my own for about 3 weeks now. Big gamble, but I've got a 10-year-old, Jessie. So if I can make a good go at this and make some good money from it and give my daughter and myself a future, of course you're going to take the gamble.
Yeah, yeehaw, we're in South Australia.
Another state, another headache. Gale-force winds have sprung up. His tarps are turning into sails.
No matter what, half an hour it's gone from calm to this. Yeah, that wind's picked right up. bunch of rope hanging down on the right-hand side. Yeah, something's come away. It's broken. Knew that was going to happen.
Kurt's load needs some urgent attention. It's worse than he thought.
It's torn through there.
Kurt's tarps are starting to rip.
This is what I didn't want to happen.
This is pigsty.
Michael Grantham and the trainer Gully have made it to their final destination of Carnarvon. But the yards for their horses are choked with a suspicious weed, which could be poisonous.
I wonder what the weed is, eh?
It smells toxic.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let us go in here if this stuff was bad for him, but it just turns if you want to take the risk. So we want to ring him?
You give him a call and ask. Find out what it is.
Hey, mate, that weed that's in those front yards, is that all right? Yeah, OK. Oh, you can smell it when you tread on it. All right, mate. Yeah, sweet. He reckons they won't eat it. He said it won't hurt him anyway, but he reckons they won't eat it.
After a long journey, the horses can stretch out.
Horses have got here very, very well, which is pleasing, and you know, it's a bit of relief.
Well, he's very bright and happy.
For VIP Desert Glow, this is the end of the line.
Desert Glow, he probably jumped off the best, which is great. He bounced into his yard and dove straight into his water bucket. So I'm very pleasing that we got here safe.
For young trucker Michael Grantham, it's a job well done. He's moved a truckload of precious horses over 1,500 kilometres, all fed, watered, mucked out,
Yeah, it's a pretty shitty job, put it that way.
and relieved. And most importantly, all delivered without a scratch.
Hopefully they can race next week and win the cup. That'll be the icing on the cake.
Great 3 straps already. And we've got movement in the camp back there, so I'm expecting to go through a few straps on this one.
Owner-driver Johnny Dowell is limping up the Tanami track. After only 20 kilometres, straps are snapping and his load of house beams are shifting.
It's that one bundle that's given trouble. Can't help wondering what's going on back there. Oh, there'll be more movement in the camp by now. I've done another 20 Ks. I've done 1/20th of the trip. That one up there is going AWOL. It used to be in line like that one there. Now it's going sideways.
Johnny's load is on the move, in a bad way.
This is a nice trailer. That was a naughty trailer.
Constant jarring from the road is inching the frames out from underneath the straps. And on the part of the load that's holding, sharp steel edges are shearing through the straps.
See that one there starting to get ready to chew into there?
The shifting load is now starting to overhang the truck.
Like I got the oversized sign on, it's getting more and more oversized as I go. That's why I'm stopping every 20 Ks. Thinking, this is going to get worse.
In the middle of nowhere, Johnny can't restack the frames himself. He has little choice but to keep going. Time spent fixing his load has cost Johnny dearly. If all had gone well, he could have made Balgo today. But now night is falling, and he's still got 200 kilometres to go.
It just doesn't look like we're going to make it, so we're going to pull up wherever we can, because I don't want to be driving in the dark where I can't see down the side of the truck what's going on back there, so we'll find somewhere, get off the road and call it a night.
As Johnny stops for the night, the bad news gets worse.
Yeah, that thing shit itself and fell all the way back now.
The load has shifted even further. Johnny has 6 hours tomorrow to try and nurse his load into Balgo.
Because they're not going to stay where they are, that's for sure.
But the way this load is moving, he'll be lucky if it gets in at all.
Yeah, see, it's torn right through there.
In South Australia, Kurt Shepherd's tarpaulins are getting flogged by strong winds. Violent flapping against the steel hut has worn a hole. He needs to fix it, or it'll get bigger, exposing the interior of the hut to the damaging weather.
I'm hoping that this will stay on. I'm just trying to prevent what's just happened from happening again.
All over the load, ropes have come loose and shredded.
I just saw a whole bunch of ropes just all of a sudden swinging about that far off the road.
Kurt does the best he can with the undamaged pieces.
Not confident this is going to hold it all. All right. Yeah. We'll just have to back speed off. So back down to 80 now. There I am thinking, oh yeah, we've got a good run, we've had it real good, but this wind's just come up out of nowhere.
Another 200 kilometres and the wind hasn't let up. Kurt's worried that the smallest rip could cause all the tarps to blow out.
I don't hold much to these tarps being much good by the time we get to WA.
Kurt's destination of Perth is still a whopping 2,300 kilometres away. But now his repairs are falling apart.
The actual tarp's starting to rip up the corner straight up. It's going to shit real quick. Four new rips on this side. One starting 5, 6. You know, this is just an absolute nightmare. This is what I hate about doing shit like this, and it's crap. This is my reputation, on the line where I'm dealing with crap like this. I don't understand this. Ow, get up there. Jesus. Hell, this is ridiculous.
Kurt still has half the country to get across. Lose his tarps now, and the inside of the hut will be exposed to the full brunt of Mother Nature.
No matter what we do, it's going to go to shit. Simple as that.